There, now it says we're live.
Probably not. Oh, is anybody else's internet being throttled to fuck these past couple of weeks?
Oh,
by the
yeah.
way,
It's not bad. I think I'm having more internal networking issues than anything else.
Mine started being throttled, I think it was last week Monday, and they've loosened it up since then. But yeah, like I couldn't get anything to stay online or connect. And I thought it was my router, just because my router, before all this went down, had been going downhill for a little bit now. But finding out, no, it's just my ISP deciding you don't need more than 0.03 down. And
Right.
yeah, we're paying for 400 down. We're lucky if we get 5 at the moment. Like it's Call of Duty. My wife has been playing it, and hey, guess what? It's now got a 40 gig update. Have fun with that.
Over the next
Dead
4
by
days.
Daylight. Yes.
Yeah.
Dead by Daylight had like a 10 gig update, and it was just like, oh, great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hope and pray I get this done in time for the what you call it.
Well, and then
Dead by Friday.
The jokes about PlayStation throttling their
just gonna run
network
the bathroom.
stuff. And everyone's like, how are you throttling it more? Can you put negative numbers into your throttling?
I think it was, I don't remember who it was from Twitter that said, this policy goes into effect 11/11/2006.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I haven't really noticed it console-wise since my internet has actually gone back up and been fairly stable, but I could just imagine.
Yeah. I've never been one of those people that's had problems with PSN or Xbox Live, but if you've had problems with it, I'm sure it's in a real bad spot right now.
I just know I was super pissed when they were like, oh yeah, we're just slowing everyone down because we can't handle it. It's like, what? You guys don't have the infrastructure set up? The massive amounts of money that you're making me pay you for internet?
Yeah, like, that's such a huge amount of bullshit. It's like, I know you're not bandwidth limited. I know none of this is really an issue. Come on.
Yeah.
It was green capped, by the way.
Green capped, thank you. Yeah, I liked that a lot. That was good.
I know it's getting close to feeding time because I opened the door to go to the bathroom and I had 2 cats sitting outside the door looking at me as if to say, well.
It's time. Okay, I'm ready to start whenever you guys are.
Yep.
Stereo. Alright, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpear.
Hello.
And the Nymph.
Hello.
As Moonpear is recovering from his recent illness, I am now falling under an illness myself. So apologies for the low energy this week, but I'm feeling like trash. Patreon.com/E1M, one of the ones or numbers. All the cool behind-the-scenes early access stuff. There's a brand new episode of Old Dog New Flicks out right now for both the patrons and the public feed. You can get it 3 months early for only $5 a month, along with all the other cool stuff. Patreon.com/E1M1. Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
Okie doke. So, yes, let's start with Demon's Tilt.
Hang on, let's start with what?
Demon's Tilt. Demon's Tilt.
Demon.
This is the pinball game that's on Xbox Game Pass. Yeah. Go play it.
It's the Super Metal
honestly,
Genesis pinball game.
Yeah, the Golden Axe knockoff pinball game. Honestly, I only played a couple of rounds of it. It was very much a case of I'm downloading 15 things at the moment. I need something to pass the time with. This week was very much a week of, I'm going to play this. No, I'm not. After 10 minutes, turn it off. Yeah. I'm going to play this. 10 minutes, turn it off. I'm going to play this. 10 minutes, turn it off. Over and over and over and over and over again. My game-playing brain was on scramble, apparently, this week.
Ditto. I spent a lot of time with Stardew Valley just because I don't have to learn anything new.
And that's actually works out pretty nicely because let's talk about the game I played most this week, Stardew Valley.
There you go.
So, yes. I think I mentioned this previously, but like I think I mentioned it on the Game Club episode. Like my new save file, my throwaway save file, it was 26 hours to do the JoJo Mart and get all of the community goals done for the JoJo Mart stuff.
Right. The evil playthrough.
Yes, the evil the evil playthrough.
Your renegade
Something is going
playthrough.
on with my brain. But I had a save file that was 80 hours in, so I thought, I'm just going to plug away at that for a little bit. You know, I'm back in the Stardew mood. It's doing pretty well.
Have you rebuilt the community center already?
I hadn't. I was 2 things in the donation things away
Nice.
at the end of my second year. So I was like, well, now I know how to get them, so I'm just going to do that. So I did that, and then I literally just kept playing.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
And didn't stop to the point where now I'm in summer of year 3.
Yep.
And I'm at the quote-unquote end game content. AKA, there is another bloody bundle, isn't there?
Yeah, I just completed that other bundle. I turned in my caviar and completed that, so now I have the movie theater.
So is this where you unlock the EX farmland, or what's going on?
Well, the only thing that I'm kind of bummed about this game is the Skull Dungeon, the second dungeon you unlock, is another 100 floors. And it's like, I don't like the combat to begin with.
And it doesn't have an elevator.
It doesn't have
Are
an
the
elevator.
floors random?
Yep, it's totally random.
Nice.
And like I'm struggling to get my combat from 9 to 10 so I can just stop going in the dungeon overall. And like killing hundreds of things and not getting it to the next level, and it's driving me crazy. Everything else is 10 in my game. I like everything else, just gotta get that last thing in combat.
Weirdly enough, the one for me was fishing, which is weird.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was one of those games, like, I loaded it up for Game Club, I started a new save file to do the JoJo Mart playthrough, because that's the easy one. You literally make money and then buy everything. You don't have to get any specialist crops or any of that stuff. And then I loaded up my previous save file, and I was like, I've put 83 hours into that save file at this point. Surely I've got to be close to getting some of the rest of these achievements.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because the achievements in the game are donate every item to the museum, catch every single fish, harvest and ship at least 15 of every crop.
Like max out
friends.
Your friends with everybody.
Yeah, stuff like that. I was like,
And they're
okay,
not bad.
I was like, I've got to be close. And I was close. But the things I hadn't done were all the nightmare ones. So, for example, the museum, I've still got like 5 or 6 things to donate, but I can get them through the artifact trove, which is something that they put in on later updates, which gives me mineral wise, I've got 1 mineral left to deposit. It's the prismatic shard.
I just did that myself. Getting 2 of those was rough.
Yeah. So, just as a side point, it's the rarest mineral in the game.
I think it's the rarest item overall in the game, if I understand.
Yes, and like high-end enemies in the basic mines have like a 0.01% chance of dropping you.
I was going to ask, what's the RNG on this?
It's real bad.
Well, that's the thing is, it's 0.01%, but then your luck is affected every day. So every day, if you have a good luck day, it increases it by like 0.001% further. And then you have a bad luck day, which reduces it by like 0.001% as well. So in my JoJo Mart playthrough, I got 2 prismatic shards in 24 hours.
Of course.
In my 83-hour save file, I never had a single one of them.
Oh, man.
So now I'm in the process of farming bombs, weirdly enough, because I now have the mission to get to floor 100 of the dungeons, of the Skull Dungeon, which literally every time you go into it, it resets. So you go in,
Floor 1.
you spend a day, you start at floor 1, you work your way as far down as you can, and the further down you get, the more increased the drop rates are for stuff. Specifically things like the prismatic shard can drop from an iridium ore vein, which is the rarest ore in the game, but they only become really available at like floor 80 plus of the Skull Dungeon.
Right.
And to find the way down in the mines, you have to smash the rocks and find a staircase, or kill some enemies and you'll get a staircase, or find a hole to jump down, which will drop you like 5 levels.
Yeah, those are the good ones.
It's really, really, really painstakingly annoying to go down that far in the mines.
Mm-hmm.
So I may be farming bombs so that then I can literally, because I don't know if you use the bombs at all, Boston,
A little bit.
but if you use a bomb in the mines, it blows up all of the rocks around that area,
Yep.
and then you can just basically find the stairs as quick as you can.
Yeah.
I might have 60 already. I might be farming to get 200/craft 200 of them. So I'm literally just going to walk in and be like, this is my mine day.
Mm-hmm.
This is the day I'm going to go in the mines, and I'm literally going to rock this place with bombs until I hit floor 100.
Right.
And then keep going further until I get a prismatic shard. I will have at least 3 of them because I know 3 uses for it.
Yeah, I used it to get the sword and to donate to the museum, but I didn't use it for the movie theater.
Yeah.
You only needed 5 of the 6. I did the other 5.
Yeah. For that, I'm probably not going to do it there. I'm probably going to use it to, because I think one of the cooking recipes requires a prismatic shard.
Crap, I didn't know that. I will
Yep.
have to go get another one then. I actually got both of mine out of Omni Geodes. They have a chance to drop out.
Zero luck. Zero luck.
I think I broke like 100 and got both of them in 100. So
Well, my save file now, my old save file is now at 127 hours instead of 83.
right.
I don't know how many Omni Geodes I broke before this point in time,
Right.
but since then I've probably broken about 1,000 of them,
Yeah.
just looking for the artifacts to try and get the artifacts for the museum.
Right.
No prismatic shards.
I swear to God.
So, why not?
Yeah.
Random number Jesus needs to really give me, give me a little scooch up. I get boned on every single RNG thing that I care about. Be that Stardew Valley prismatic shards, good character drops in Marvel Strike Force. Shout out to that game.
Anything.
I'm still playing it.
Mhm.
The only time I don't get like boned by RNG is when it's a cosmetic pack for a game that I don't care about and my wife really, really wants a cosmetic. Then I get the thing that she wants every time without fail.
Yeah. You get 3 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, Stardew Valley has been my go-to this week. I'm not kidding. It's like, I don't know why. It's just,
It's real
I can put my
relaxing.
headphones in. I can listen to a podcast. I can just play the game, slicey dicey, stabby, pickaxe. Oh, look, my tomatoes are ripe. Hoot, 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 hoot,
Yeah.
hoot. Best sound ever when you pick up that
Yeah.
stuff. Also, I'm working towards the 10 million gold achievement.
Yeah, I'm at like 4.5 million right now. I'm starting to make some good cash right now.
2 days ago, I was at 900,000, and that's on like 80 plus hours or whatever.
Yeah.
Now I'm at 1.4 million.
Nice.
I may or may not have a greenhouse full of ancient seeds,
Ditto.
and may or may not have a basement full of aging casks.
Yes.
So I'm going to be making bank in about 2 seasons when all of those things ripen up to the point where they need to be.
I now also have 2 fish ponds. One of them has sturgeon in them for the caviar, and the other one has octopus in it. Because when you get up to 10 octopus, you have a really good chance of them just barfing out like 7 Omni Geodes every couple of days.
Oh,
And
I haven't done anything with the fish ponds, so apparently I need to do this.
Fish ponds are fun. I even if it didn't do anything, I would probably have it just to go to the fish pond, see a bunch of little fish swimming in this text box, and they'll just say like, "We're feeling healthy." It's like, thanks, talking fish. Appreciate that.
Okay.
Glad you guys are doing okay.
The Seaman
Well,
just pops up.
Yeah, Seaman just
Yeah.
pops up. Yeah.
Well, I have like an old fruit tree section of my farm in the bottom left-hand corner, which I can probably get rid of because now my greenhouse is full of fruit trees as well.
Yeah, me too.
Spoiler alert, you can plant the fruit trees in the greenhouse.
I was poking around the Stardew Valley subreddit, which is like one of the nicest communities on the internet, because like so many people are just posting like, I planted my first fruit tree. And everyone was like, hell yeah, you go get it. Yeah, whatever. Like, welcome to the game.
Did you see the 60-year-old couple who the wife has been playing Stardew for years, and then the husband just started playing a co-op save file on a new
that's
farm?
Super cute.
Sweetest thing ever.
Yeah, someone had posted putting the fruit trees in the greenhouse. I was like, okay, I would have never even tried, so I'm glad someone posted about that.
Yeah, I knew about it from my previous playthrough, but it was one of those things where it's like, now I'm going to maximize it, and I've got like every season worth of fruit, everything in there. If someone wants something, some of those stupid health wanted boards, I've got it.
Yep.
Honestly, I'm probably sitting on about 5 mil in vegetables alone.
Yeah.
Because I just harvest them, stick them in a chest, because it's my stupid hoarder mentality.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, but what if someone needs one of my 6,000 coffee beans? What if someone needs
What
one?
if someone needs one parsnip?
Yeah.
Better keep 50.
Add another 0 to the end of that, and you're probably where I am.
Right.
I don't know why I do it. I just don't, because I'm stupid.
It's because the game is one of the best games like this. It doesn't punish you. If you want to just fill up box after box of thousands of parsnips because you want to, Stardew Valley doesn't care. If that makes you happy, Stardew Valley is happy for you.
Yeah. We talk a lot about blue sky games. Mm-hmm. This is a quintessential blue sky game.
Yep.
Where I'm going to switch my brain off, harvest my farm, pet my cat, laugh to myself every time I walk past him and he's doing the little hop animation, and then he goes, and there's a face plant.
Yep.
Like, it's so good. Like, it's really Stardew Valley is amazing. And it turns out it was the perfect band-aid I needed over the past couple of weeks to just literally sink my teeth into, record a Game Club episode on it, and then continue playing it to the point of ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Oh, Stardew so good. I also did play Dead by Friday. Me and Rob jumped in and played it for a little bit there. Not much to say on that one, minus the fact that they are having a month-long 1.5 times experience event.
Nice.
The official note was, sorry you have to stay inside. Please enjoy this 1.5 times blood points event valid until like April 18th.
Nice.
So if you need to farm some blood points, now is the time to be doing your farming of blood points. And my final game this week, carryover from last week, it's Doom Eternal. What do you know? I was on the last level.
Of course.
What?
I started Doom Eternal this week, but I'll go after you have your impressions.
Okay, so the last boss is possibly one of my least favorite bosses in video game history.
Great.
Yep. Spoiler alert, there's a type of enemy in that last boss fight that you can get ammo from, but the way you get ammo from it is by having the precision assault rifle thing and popping them in the dome, and then they spit out a bunch of ammo. Don't use your machine gun-based weaponry for any other purpose in that last boss fight other than that.
Okay.
Because you will run out of ammo, like I did, and then there won't be enough ammo around the arena, and you can't chainsaw the things because they need 2 sets of chainsaw fuel, not 1, so you can't get ammo from them. So yeah, enjoy that mess.
How many forms does the final boss have, huh?
The final boss? Hold on. Technically 3.
Okay, that's not bad.
Because there is, I just realized it. The boss fight I'm talking about is not the final boss. That's the first of the 3.
Oh, okay.
The ones after that are just insanity.
So Doom.
Doom. I really like playing Doom Eternal to the point where I actually played a whole bunch of the multiplayer, and let me tell you, it's great when you win against 2 player-controlled demons who were D-bags the whole time. It's hilarious. That mode is actually genuinely pretty fun, and that surprised me more than anything else. The fact that the battle mode, or whatever the fancy name for it is really enjoyable and fun to play. The story is nowhere near as good as 2016. I'm disappointed.
Hmm.
But it still does a lot if you read the lore and stuff like that. But in the game itself, there's so much that it's missing. So
2016
much.
was so focused. Like, it had a story to
Yes.
tell. The cutscenes were never too super long. It was really clear. Here are the bad
Hmm.
guys. Here's the story. There's a surprise in like the third act of that game that isn't too surprising, and it was really good.
Yeah. And the lore they build in 2016 is fantastic.
Hmm.
Like, you are the Doom guy. He literally has been in hell murdering people, and they are afraid of him.
Yeah.
Go. Like,
Right.
it's 2016 has got an amazing story. It tells it really well. The story in this has interesting points, and it introduces a lot of stuff which is curious as to what they're going to do next with the franchise.
Mm.
But I don't think it tells it as good as the first one. There is no demon voice booming in your ear when you first get to hell, talking
Right.
about like how everyone's terrified of you, and that's a shame because I love that side of the story.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot in this. Overall, I'd still say play it, buy it, enjoy it. Be very careful about your difficulty settings.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to just get into your talk on this game now?
Sure, I am not having any fun with Doom Eternal in its first hour and a half. I think I know I will get to enjoying Doom Eternal. God, there's so much wrong in like the beginning of this game. Number one, it starts in the middle of the story, and
Mm-hmm.
there's
Where are you? How did you get to the Fortress of Doom? What's that place called?
And why do I have a floating space station that's all mine now? I don't. There is a super cool moment that I really enjoyed, where you like crash through a temple wall and you land and you're on Earth, and there's those big giants in the background walking around. Like, it's a cool reveal of like, hey, stuff is going down. You're actually on Earth. The lore stuff that they've been dropping in the world is really good so far. I'm interested to see. I think I have an idea of what's that?
Have you been reading all of the stuff as
Yes.
well? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I have an idea of where that stuff is going, and I'm interested to see as that goes in. I have already changed it from normal down to the easiest because
Yep.
the game is the
Frighteningly hard.
I have a suspicion that the game on your first playthrough is going to be too hard, and the game on your second playthrough will almost be a little too easy.
I'm curious about that because it does the thing that some really good video games do. It's like, here is a boss fight, and then 2 levels later you're fighting another one of that boss, but they're just a regular mob.
Yeah.
And then 2 levels later than that, here is 2 of that boss that you fought really early in the game.
Right.
But at the end, I was finding those type of fights so much fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was thinking to myself, is that first one maybe ratcheted up to have like more health and stuff like that?
Sure.
Because
Right.
these don't feel as hard, and I don't know if that's a case of I was using the paddles at that point, or if that's a case of I was used to fighting them at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Because the arachnotrons, or whatever they're called, are real difficult early in the game.
Yep. Yeah. I one of my larger issues about Doom Eternal are, and I'm not saying anything new, are the tutorials. And I think half of them are bad. The one where you first see an enemy and a box pops up and says, here's their weak point, here's how to kill them. That sucks. Like that I think that's antithetical to the experimentation that I think is so much fun in a lot of first-person shooters. The ones that take you to like a VR room and show you how to use a new tool, those are fine. I wish they were presented in the environment where it's like, here, you got the flame belch, here's a bunch of fodder enemies, and there's a box on the left-hand side of the screen that says, here's how to get the armor from the enemies, and just kind of do it in the environment.
Look at the BFG in Doom 2016. Never has there been a better example of, here is a gun, here is a room full of enemies.
Yeah.
Fire it and see what happens.
Right, like you open the door and there's 400 enemies, and it's like, just see what it does, man. So I think that the tutorial stuff is pretty rough, and I think coupled with that, you are constantly getting new stuff at the beginning of that game, and nearly all of it throws a bar or an icon or a cooldown something on your screen, and there's so much to pay attention to. And number one, not in the right headspace to like learn a new complex system in a game.
It reminds me of WoW, like learning those cooldown timers for like, especially if you're like a caster. It's like, okay, now I'm going to heal, but now I need to do the regen and this dodge and this. When I was playing as a priest, it was like my pattern was 5-1-3-2, 5-1-3-2, 5-1-3-2 was the rhythm I got into, because that was the cooldowns on each of the individual spells.
Yeah. I just got the dash, which feels pretty good. Like, they give you the double jump right away, so I'm like double jumping and dashing to do some of the platforming stuff that is okay early on, but like there's so much of it that's not clicking with me in a way that 2016 really did click with me. Like 2016 was very much, you got this thing, like, let's start going and just shoot everything that moves, and let's keep on punching and shooting. And this one so far feels pretty opposite to that in a really frustrating way. And I'm hoping that I warm up to it once they sort of take the training wheels off, but we'll see how that goes.
There's so much of that game left to go.
Yeah. It's just landing at a bad time for me. Like, not feeling well, not wanting to start any new games, and it seems fine, it's just not right now.
I mean, that's the funny thing with that game. It's like, there's so much about it I absolutely adore, but I think it will go down as one of those sequels not as good as the first games. I mean, say what you want, like Doom 2016 didn't get perfect scores, like, and the developers even said this about Doom 2016. They were like, look, you guys gave us 4 out of 5 stars. Like, when talking to like Giant Bomb about it, like, they were like, you give us 4 out of 5 stars, and we didn't get Game of the Year with you because it had the multiplayer in. If it didn't have the multiplayer in, it would have got Game of the Year, hands down. But they released that as the package, and the multiplayer was lacking at the time.
Right.
And it was. So they didn't get Game of the Year, which was a valid argument for it. I think this enters Game of the Year discussion. I don't see this being discussed anywhere near as hard as 2016. Because 2016 is one of those completely out of nowhere, genie's out of the bottle, this thing is incredible kind of moments.
Yeah.
This feels like it's the early access problem we talked about on We Roguelike It, where it feels like they made it so much more difficult, and how much more have they got to add in for all of those face buttons? So you said you've just got the dash, so that means you've got the flame belch. Do you have the grenades?
Yep. And like
you've
the
still
blood
got more.
punch, so I think I have the majority of them, and
you've still got a couple more to go. Just so you know,
every button on that controller is used so far. Like, it's just it's a lot. It's just a lot, and I it's just pretty overwhelming, and it's frustrating.
And don't get me wrong, I love the game. Like I said, buy it, play it, enjoy it, stick it on the easiest difficulty, because that thing is nightmarishly hard.
Yeah.
It's so good, though. It's so good.
Yeah, I gotta put more time into it, but I just haven't really.
But yeah, were you as annoyed as me when it just like loads up and you're straight on the Fortress of Doom? It's like, what about the story?
Right, like, what am I doing?
I'm not going to play Doom 64 just so I can find out what happened between 2016 and now. Right. I'm just not.
Right. Yeah. That's all I got for that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that's all I've been playing. Nimp, so talk to me about JRPGs.
Yeah, give it to me on a downer note. Well, to get the easier ones out of the way, played Rocket League with my kids. It was fun. Didn't have a whole lot of issues like I normally do. I managed to be pretty competent at the game so far.
Nice.
One time. Yeah. Played a lot of Call of Duty this week just because, like everyone else, I've just been jumping all over the place. I've been jumping in, doing dailies, playing with a bunch of people online. that I know, which I'm finding that playing with a couple of my friends makes online a lot more tolerable than playing it by myself online.
Mm-hmm.
Yup.
Because I hate people in general, and when people don't want to do the thing, like, hey, capture this point, and I'm the only one there capturing this point, makes you really angry a lot.
It doesn't help with that as well that that game has individual missions as well. Like when you get a mission, you will have that mission and no one else on your team will.
Yeah.
It's like you have to be communicative at that point. You have to like have a microphone and talk to your friends and say, I have a mission over here, and then they can come and help you. It's like, you know, John Q, Call of Duty fan, isn't gonna, you know, come over and help you unless he knows exactly what's going on.
Right.
And even if he does know exactly what's going on, he's probably still not going to help you.
Yeah.
So whatever. After that, I'm gonna save my JRPG for last. How's that? Played Hollow Knight.
Don't tease me so much. You tease me with the JRPG, and then you get Boston all amped up because you're playing Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
I came across the Mantis Lords.
Yeah.
The game heavily hinted before I fought them that I need to go do something before fighting them.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, screw it. Let me go up against them and see what this is all about. The fight's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
You just have to really be on top of your dodge. So what happens with this fight is there's 3 things sitting on thrones in the background, and they will jump out and fight you. Not even one-on-one. It's like each one has a single attack that they will do, and then they will jump back onto their throne, and then the next person will come up and do their attack.
Mm-hmm.
So you dodge their attack, and then you can attack the one that tried to attack you before the other one hops out. And there's one that does a rush across the screen that you can jump across. Another one just drops down from the sky and tries to get you at the last point that you were standing at. And another one will throw like this halo thing across the map that you can jump over. And yeah, it's not hard. It's just there's also these needle pits on either side of the arena that you're on. Right. And the arena you're on isn't that big to begin with. So it's real easy to take a hit, get knocked into that, lose another health, and then get brought back into the thing right in the middle of them attacking you. So it's real easy for you to get screwed over real fast. So I tried that a couple times, got fairly far, but I was like, all right, apparently I really need to do whatever this thing is. So I went exploring.
Yeah, well, the best thing to do in Hollow Knight, period, in my opinion. The Mantis Lords fight is my second least favorite fight in that game. And like you said, it's not hard, it's just you need to be on the ball with your precision for it. The only fight that's worse than that is the dung beetles.
God. Yeah. So I went moving around, and then I found an armorer or a smith, a needlesmith.
Yeah.
So he upgraded my needle.
Nice.
Continued to explore, and then I ran into a brooding Malek?
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically this thing. It looks like a pod that jumps into your arena, and it's shooting out, or it's spewing out like this orange glob stuff.
Yep.
And you can get close to it to hit it, but then it has like these little scythes that will he like flippers it out, and there's just enough room that your attack puts you within range of that thing. So you're trying to dodge the crap that it's spitting, and you're trying to dodge those so that way you can get your hit in but not get hit, and then it gets mad, and then it spews out a bunch of them at once.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's a point where you can get in between them, like there's a little gap, and sometimes there's not. And then on top of that, the thing will vibrate and then jump up into the air and basically try to slam down into where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So you have all these moving parts in this fight, and I hate this boss.
It's real rough.
I haven't beaten it yet. Every time I go up against it, I last a lot longer, and I feel like I'm at the point where I should be really close to killing it.
Yeah.
I just haven't been able to pull it off yet.
It's the same with all of them, like the same with every single boss fight in Hollow Knight. Is like the first time you go in, you will get stomped every time generally. Yeah. And then like it's very much like kind of Dark Souls, where it's like you get further and further each time until you're at that point where you're like, I know I can beat him. I know if I could just get 2 more hits in, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
And that's a pain in the backside that he's just killed me, and now I got to start the whole thing over.
Well,
Yeah.
the worst part about that particular boss is there's not a bench anywhere near that thing.
Yeah.
So I have to run clear across 2 different maps to get back to this thing so I can get, what do they even call it, your coin or whatever back?
Your Geo.
With Shade.
Yeah, whatever they call it. Yeah, to fight your Shade, to get your Geo, and to get your Spirit bubble so that it's not busted anymore.
Right.
So I did that about 9 times. Got, like I said, I feel like I'm really close to beating them, but then I just got sick and tired of having to run across both these maps to get to this thing. So I gave it a break. But besides those 2 bosses, there's still other areas that I haven't gone into yet. I found a thing that's supposed to act like a torch, because I found like this slime thing that I can buy stuff from, and one of them I happened to notice was like a lantern thing that you can buy from, and it says, oh, it'll pierce any darkness or whatever. I'm like, oh, that's cool, because I've got this one area that was extremely dark and I couldn't see anything in, so I need that for this. But that thing costs, I think it was like 1,800 Geo or whatever to get it. I'm like, I don't have that right now, so let's go explore a little bit more. But yeah, I think I have 4 or 5 areas unlocked now.
Oh, okay.
Just
nice.
walking around, screwing around,
So
checking things out.
4 or 5 out of 50.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
There's, I think there's like 15 or 20.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of areas in that game.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, because I still haven't unlocked any other extra abilities or anything yet either. Are they all tied to boss fights, or is it just you get them at certain story beats? Okay.
Yeah. Not always, but generally yes. But you start getting them like after the mantis loads. You will get one which will open up the entire like area to you, and then that's a game changer, which lets you get a different skill, which is another game changer. And it's just like, okay, now it's on.
Yeah.
It's like, because right now I have the dash and I have the wall jump, and those are the 2 things that I have right now. So, and because I'm asking that too, because I was wondering, it's like, crap, is this doing like the Mega Man thing where I should be fighting these bosses in a certain order, and that's why I'm sucking so bad, or am I just sucking?
You're not you're not sucking. The game's just hard. Yeah.
All right. Well, either way. So after that, played a ton of Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I've got like the spaceship earworms back in my face again, and it's just like, come on, you can take something across the galaxy. Come on.
I am 489 jumps away from Sagittarius A.
Yeah. Have you ever seen pictures of it?
No, I've been purposely avoiding it until I get there, so that
it's
I can
the way
see
to do it, because that's exactly what I did. I was like, nope. Not looking at it. I'm not anything to do with it. I'm just avoiding. I'm just going to get there and see it for myself.
Yep. But I got sidetracked because I popped into a system that hadn't been discovered yet. You get this nice little booklet next to, the discoveries you make and all that. And so it has like 4 planets in it that I was doing surface scans on. And all of a sudden I noticed that, hey, there's a geology signal coming from one of these planets that I just scanned. I'm like, well, screw it. Let's fly back there and take a look. So I land on this planet, get in my SRV, start tooling around the planet, and I find like all these geodes that I can shoot, and they give me materials and stuff. Cool. Turn around and go back in my ship, and my ship isn't there anymore. And I had a slight panic attack until I remembered that they had put this in an update forever ago, where your ship will it will auto take off and leave your instance. That way somebody can't blow up your ship while you're not there.
Yep.
So I spent the next 10 minutes trying to remember how to recall my ship. So crisis averted on that one, and it came back and it looked really cool. And then I had to do the little dance of trying to get my SRV back into the bay so that way I could get into my ship and fly away.
Are you in the Diamondback as well?
No, I'm in the Asp Explorer.
Oh,
so I have to drive underneath
which is
it.
A nightmare.
Yeah, I don't have something. Yeah, it's not. I don't drive up on a ram or something. There's a area that's open underneath your Asp. And there's like supposed to be light indicators to let you know, oh, just pull into this area, and then you can select, go back into your ship. And it kind of works. It's the same thing with like Star Citizen, where you kind of have to play with it and go back and forth and turn a little bit. And okay, there,
Yeah.
I found the sweet spot, and now I'm going up into my ship.
Yeah, the square that you need to park in is a grand total of like 2 millimeters bigger than your actual vehicle. It's like that kind of, especially on that one. It's just like, I get there eventually, I hope.
And it didn't help that the planet that I had landed on was all rocky, hilly terrain. So my ship is landed flat for the terrain it was on, but as you're looking at it, it's skewed slightly to the left. So I'm trying to get my thing underneath it and try to get it as skewed as the ship is, so it can recognize that I'm there and take off. So, yeah.
Docking is a nightmare.
Yeah, I also managed to go into a system that had 4 suns right next to each other, or 4 stars technically, right next to each other. And the way I jumped into the system, I had to fly in between all 4 of them, which sent my heat way up, way fast. So now I'm down to like 97 armor now. But
don't worry, you'll start to really panic when you're like 50 jumps away from home and you're at like 15% armor and you're just like, I've just got to make it back to the bubble. Just need to make it to the bubble.
So I got a sidetrack story. Back when I was in the bubble, I was fighting with the Vulture, which this has a giant glass canopy for you to be able to see everything. But the problem is that your glass canopy is usually the first thing that breaks on your stupid ship because it's so massive. Once that breaks, you lose atmosphere in your ship, and your oxygen counter and your suit turns on, and you have a little time bar, and you've got like, 5, depending on what upgrade you've done, you've got anywhere from like 5 minutes to like 20 minutes or whatever.
Yep.
I didn't have any upgrades. So my little 5-minute timer came on. I'm like, oh crap. So I turned around to go back to the station so I can get repaired. And that's when I found out that all of your navigation and stuff is tied to your canopy. So when your canopy blows out, you're just looking at the blackness of space. You have no indicators whatsoever. So what I had to do is I had it locked, because you can still lock everything on your ship and all that. And I had like this tiny little sliver of canopy on my bottom right. So I would have to bump the nose of my ship up so that I could make sure that I was still heading in the same general direction I needed to go in, and then bring it back down until the light got big enough that I could, discern it from all the other stars and lights that were around that place, until I could finally fly into it. And I landed with 30 seconds.
Oh, jeez.
Because as soon as you make it past that mail slot, oxygen and everything automatically starts to pump, because you're in an atmospheric area at that point, which I didn't know. I thought you had to be on the landing pad. So I'm like trying to blow through this mail slot with all this traffic going on. That sucked. But it was a good experience. So that's Elite Dangerous. No, it was not.
You were out in space.
So after Elite Dangerous, Angel and I were finally able to get together to play Star Citizen together. This had plenty of glitches and issues with us trying to do multiplayer. Outside of the game, we couldn't get Discord to work. He could hear me, but I couldn't hear him. So then we had to turn on Steam and use that friend list so that way we could finally chat with each other. Got that going. We get into the game. I can't see him, but he can see me. And we're like sending pictures back and forth of, hey, no, I'm looking right at you. And I take a picture of where he's supposed to be at, and it's like, you're not there. So we're like, screw it, whatever. I drop out of the game, get back into the game. I can see him now, but he can't see me. It's like, all right, fine. We're just gonna play it this way, because we could still interact with stuff. We just couldn't fully interact with each other. And then my ship glitched out, and I couldn't call my ship anymore. And I also couldn't claim it so that I could get a new ship. So he ends up calling his ship. I could see it, so I run into his ship, and I sit down, and he starts taking off, and I sit down in the co-pilot seat, and I'm just messing around with stuff just to see if it even lets me do anything. And as he's taking off, I completely shut down the power of the ship as he's getting ready to fly forward. Amazing. So we're just drifting in space. I'm like, oh, hang on, let me mess with it. I didn't think this would actually do anything because the game wasn't working. So go back through, turn on all of his systems, because for some reason it locked him out of being able to turn his systems back on because I shut them off.
Oh, jeez.
So I had to
them off on your side. Your switch.
Yeah.
It's like having two light switches in your house when one is down and one is up, and you don't know which one is the right way.
Yeah.
So I flipped. I got everything back up, and we were able to go. And he suggested that we go check out this satellite, which I've seen. There's different satellites, like actual satellites, at different parts of the map, and he wanted to go check this one out to try something where we would land, or we would fly to it, and then we would shut it off, and then pirates would start to show up, and then we could fight the pirates. Well, I fly the ship close to it, and all of a sudden we start getting these warnings saying, "You're by government property, blah, 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 go away." We didn't. I get a felony, and then the station starts shooting at us. Like, all right, so I fly away a little bit, and at this point, he just completely jumps out of the ship, and that was the pictures that we were posting on Discord, where he got out of the ship, and I didn't know. So all of a sudden, he's in front of the main viewer that I'm looking out of, and there's just a person floating in space.
Jeez.
And I was like, all right, so I got the ship pretty far away. We fly to the satellite, which I found out that if you hold down shift, it makes you go faster. I didn't know that, so I spent way too much time in space compared to him. And we're checking this out, and you can go inside of it, and you can try to disarm it, but he said it looked like they patched it so that we couldn't do it anymore. And at this point, we both have felony level 2s. So I was like, all right, whatever. I'm at least going to fly through the satellite to check it out. We've already gone this far. And he leaves. He goes to get the ship, and I tell him, hey, do a flyby. I will jump into the ship because I'm not flying all the way back to the ship because it was way out there. I didn't think we were that far out, but we were. So he gets back, he flies by the ship, the satellite starts opening up on the ship, I fly into it, he guns it, and that's when we found out we didn't have a whole lot of fuel left over. So we get to the planet that has the actual space station for us to go to refuel and all that, and I was like, all right, let's just go to the station and refuel, and that's when he tells me, well, because we have felonies now, the ship will probably start firing at us as soon as we get close to it. Oh, that's nice, I guess.
Serves you right for being wretched criminals.
I guess. So he gets docking permission. That goes fine. And we start getting closer to it, and all of a sudden the space station just opens up on us. And he floors it. And we're getting like sirens going off. I'm adjusting shields and stuff to change to the different deflectors on because you can do, forward, left, right, or back. So I'm changing the shielding so that whatever side we're facing the station has the most shielding so that way we don't get blown up. And then finally I was just like, screw it, let's bail. We're close enough to the station, just jump out of the ship and we'll just land at the station. And I said it and did it. And Angel didn't. And he gets out and finally, because I'm already like inside the station watching them shoot up the ship, and it was fun to watch. And he gets out, and he's trying to figure out, I guess, where the turrets were shooting from or whatever. And he gets like a massive turret bolt straight to the face, and it kills him.
Oh, jeez.
And so he spawns back into the game, into the station that we were at. I jump out of the pad because he's on the other side of the station. So I fly over to that side of the station, and they're still shooting at our ship that's just floating above the space station. And I said, hey, let's just see if we can grab it and go. I mean, they've been shooting at it for this long. One of two things are either going to happen. Either we're going to get the ship and get out, or it's going to blow up as soon as we get into it. And he's like, all right. Yeah. And he's like, all right, yeah. Well, I get to the ship. I get into the ship. I get to the cockpit. And as soon as the cockpit door opens, that's when the ship blows up.
Yeah.
And Angel is sitting there laughing at me because I guess he just made it to the pad as the ship blew up. I was like, we were standing right next to each other. Why were you being so slow?
Oh, man.
So it was fun. We don't, right now, it doesn't have any penalties for dying that we could find so far. I still have all my money and equipment and stuff. Surprisingly, him getting blown up fixed it so that we could actually see each other in the same instance now and watch each other run around.
Oh, of course.
And then me getting blown up in the ship somehow managed to fix the game so that I could claim my other ship and get that one back. I don't know.
Why
Yeah.
not?
Super weird.
Also, I still want to put an objection here that this is not a game yet.
Yeah.
Right.
Just
It's
for the
still
record.
alpha. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fun screwing around with him. I learned a lot. We did a lot of things that I wouldn't have done, like jumping out of a ship while it was in space.
Yeah.
He told me a story of one of his friends who jumped out while they were doing quantum drive, which was basically their big jump. You can still open up your ship while you're doing this. And one guy just happened to fall out because he was screwing around, and they tried to go get him back, and they ran him over with a ship and killed him.
Great.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, this could be interesting. The last game that I have for today is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Because I am essential personnel, I still get to go to work, but nobody else does. So I got to bring my Switch to work and play games while waiting for tickets to come in, which never showed up.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah. I I stopped playing this game because Mina got Cosmos, after her second common summon or whatever.
Stupid early, yeah.
Yeah, and Cosmos has RNG, which is stupid low, and that kind of killed my passion for wanting to play this game.
Right.
Because Mina is always really good at RNG, and I always get horrible RNG. But anyway, I figured I'd pick it back up and try it. And I don't think I've touched this game in like a year or two, and I completely forgot how this game played, and there was so much going on. I think it took me 4 hours just to remember what I was doing, how to complete quests, and how the controllers work, because good old Nintendo, all the face controllers are mapped differently compared to everybody else. So, but yeah, I played a couple hours of that. I got the story. I'm in chapter 4 now. Figured out which mission was actually the story mission and just started mainlining that. I'm at a point now where I have to go into an area that I don't know how to get into because there's a gate preventing you from just walking into that area that's locked, and I can't unlock it. And I can get to an upper area that's above where I need to go, but if I jump down, it's so high that it kills you. So I have no idea how to get to this area. And the ocean area of the land that you're in, the cloud ocean or the cloud sea, whatever they call it, it's supposed to drop at certain times, but apparently on this island area it's not dropping at all no matter what. So it's not like I'm waiting for a low tide high tide situation. It just seems that there's some area that I'm missing to get into this area. And I explored a couple other areas within this land, and every time I get to a certain point, all of a sudden the enemies go from being 29 to 30, they're all of a sudden 81 and 90. So it's like, yeah, that's not happening. So I'm just tooling around, trying to remember what I'm doing. Busted out a bunch of side quests. I went from having 5 pages of side quests down to 1. And then I got to this new area, and I'm back up to 5 pages of story quests and things.
The best kind of quests.
I know, but it's annoying because you have like the compass indicator at the top, and it'll tell you, hey, whatever thing that you're tracking, this is how far you are, and it'll tell you, up or down. The problem is, though, is that you can be heading in generally the right direction, and then all of a sudden your distance counter will start counting up, and then you have to sit there and spin your character or your camera around to try to figure out, okay, where the heck is this location actually at? And then you find out, oh no, it's actually more to the east, and I was going northwest because at that time my distance counter was going down. But now it's going back up, so now I got to try to find a way east to get to this thing. And then you've got, since it's a 3D land, you've got, okay, how high up is this? How far down is this? Do I have to wait for a high tide or a low tide? Game is just overly complicated. But I still enjoy it. It's fun. It's got weird, janky anime quirks everywhere you turn. I hate Tora, the thing with the wing ears or whatever. I just hate the way that he talks and the way he sounds. And I can't wait to get a 4th character so I can pull him out of my party.
That's just not nice.
Dude, it's like piercing how he talks. It's annoying. But that's all I've been playing this week.
I don't have anything other than Doom Eternal, so let's take a break. I gotta get up and walk around for a bit. I'm feeling
That's
really
fine.
terrible. I'll be right back.
Yep. We'll hang out with chat.
And I was feeling bad because it looked like Boston kept giving me the side eye of, God, you are still talking.
Oh, it's him probably looking at the chat at the chat, and also trying not to think of needing to stand up would be my guess.
Oh, I know. It was just I didn't want to hold them there any longer than I needed to. Are you still using a Pico for your mod?
A what?
A Pico?
What the hell is a Pico?
What is your mod?
When you say what?
Okay,
Okay, you're talking about the battery pack?
Okay, yeah. So this part's your mod, and this part's your tank.
Okay.
So what's that? It looked like a Pico that you have.
No, mine's an E-Leaf.
Oh yeah, the E-Leaf
stick.
Pico.
Oh.
I have one of those. It's a really nice mod. You have the newer one though, because I've got the older one where it's got the you put the one battery in the top, and it's got the cap right there, so I can't have a tank bigger than I think it was like 24 millimeters or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That sucked because there aren't a lot of them that are small.
Yeah. No, I'm actually kind of, because I do a thing where I have multiple tanks at any given moment. So like, I've got two of these ones, but these are the ones that the supplies are getting real low on.
Yeah.
So I've got two of those, but I have two different flavors in them at all times, and now I've got this one too. So it's just like, I'm just gonna try out all my different flavors.
Yeah, why not? No, I mix and match. Like I had a milk cherry in this tank.
Oh, that sounds gross.
It was nice, but now I have blueberry in it right now.
Blueberry consistently seems to be my favorite. Like, consistently across the board.
Sometimes I like them where they've got, I guess, like that creamy flavor to them.
Yeah.
But I don't like all of them, because there's been like a couple of them that I've tried and I'm like, oh, that is straight fucking garbage.
Yeah, like the one in this tank right now, that's strawberry cheesecake, is the one.
Oh,
that
nice.
one. And it's not bad, but it's mostly a slight underhint of strawberry, but a little bit of cream on top of it.
Yeah.
The one in my other one is ice cream sandwich, which is just a good creamy flavor. Like, it's not got any particular fruit thing. But I always end up going back to blueberry. I think I've got like 4 different variations of blueberry in my vape case over here.
Yeah.
Because I'm weird.
I gotta order some from online. I stopped at the store just before everything shut down for 3 weeks, and the guy was like, "Is this gonna last you 3 weeks?" And I'm like, "No, but I know I can get better deals online, so this will last me for right now."
Mm-hmm.
Dude was pissed. The place I used to go to used to be like really nice and cool, but I don't know what happened between the year. Like, I hadn't vaped for like about a year, and going back to that place, all of a sudden they got like really weird. Mm-hmm. It's like, what the fuck, you guys?
Oh yeah, it seems to be across the board. Like the place I used to go, like I used to basically only do the local store, and they had a bunch of really cool fucking staff in there and really cool people. Used to go in, have a chat, hang around, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I went in like twice more after that, and every single time I went in, it was just a bunch of pieces of shit, and it's just like, well, now I know vaping is at the mainstream because this is all a bunch of fucking dude bros talking about the fucking bullshit, and it's just like,
that's because like they would have guys that would walk you through like how to, if you were new, how to fill your tank, how to put your coils in and all that stuff, and these guys are like, what, you don't know how to do that? Yeah. Like I've seen them talk to other people like that, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Yep. Like, as someone who uses it as a substitute for smoking, it's like really fucking helpful, and you pieces of shit, like those type of people are just ruining everything. Because they're the same fuckers who would go out and get the fucking HTC fucking weed strains and just be like so fucking high all the goddamn time, and it's just like, dudes, chill, you beans.
Because like I've got the Smock Alien 220 mod. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, you're not getting anything good out of that, and I'm like, Yeah, I am. I'm getting exactly like I don't need the 220. The highest I ever go on this is like maybe 100, maybe 105. But it gives me what I need. I don't need a 2 battery one, yeah, but that's what I have and it works.
Yeah.
And I got it real cheap from somebody else who was getting out of vaping. So it works for me. And they're like, oh, no. And they're trying to sell me on like this $120 mod that takes like 3 batteries. I'm like, you can go fuck yourself. I'm not here to make sick clouds. I'm here to not smoke.
Same. It's like, because that was my favorite thing about the store I went into. It was literally a case of, okay, why do you vape? And I previously had a very simple default setup when it first became a thing, like 6 years ago or whatever it was. Anyway, yeah, I've done it before. I'm looking to basically use it to cut back on how much I smoke was what it was all about. I was like, yeah, it's great as that kind of replacement. And the person was like, okay, this is a glass cabinet full of our fucking displays. Split it in the middle. Everything to your right, ignore, because everything to your right is all about the fat clouds, the sweet, O-rings,
your
and all
sick
that
vapes.
bullshit. Yeah, and everything to the left was like, this is your essentially smoke replacement sets. So you want to choose from these ones, which coincidentally enough were also the cheaper options.
Yeah. Yeah. But whatever. I just can't believe I've already got to buy. Like, there's nothing wrong with this tank except for the fact that they're discontinuing it.
Yeah.
So now I have to buy another one. They're, depending on where you go and if you can find a sale, they're anywhere from like $20 to like 40 for like a decent one.
Yeah, I mean, this one was normally the replacement I picked up normally is like 40, 45 bucks, something like that.
Yeah.
And I picked it up on like I think it was a stay-at-home sale for like I think it was like $9. It's like, okay, $9, I'll take that. Plus shipping, and shipping is like $1. I'll take it.
That's the other thing that's killing me. Shit? I have to, like, I've been trying different websites just to find places that do better shipping. Because the one place that I go, it's like $5 on top of it no matter what, unless you're paying like $50 and then it's free shipping. It's like, I don't need $50 worth of liquid right now. I just need like 2 weeks worth.
I 100% get them in $50 sets.
Really?
Oh, because I run into the same issue where it's just like, it's like fucking, there's now $10 shipping on top of that. It's like, well, that takes me over the 50, so surely you're going to give me the free shipping now. It's like, no, you need to spend 50 to get the free shipping, which is why I end up with, when I said like my vape tank, my vape case.
Okay, I am back. Are you guys ready to record?
Kinda. I've got a little bag. Yeah, I've got a little bag that I have all my stuff in. It's like a shoe polishing bag.
Yeah. Boston, for the show notes, for the patron content, vaping is the topic of choice for this week's break, just so you know.
Thank you. I'm feeling way worse, so we're going to go through this.
Let's rock on.
We're just going to skip
why don't you get yourself a good vape and you'll probably feel better.
At this point, anything.
May I offer you our camel vape?
All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk about releases for the week of March 30th, 2020. My Friend Pedro comes out on the PS4. I believe it's on everything now.
I think so.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Give it a go. It's fun.
Yeah. Resident Evil 3 comes out PC, PS4, and Xbox One. That game looks really good.
Can't wait. Already pre-downloaded, pre-installed, pre-ready.
I haven't even finished the 2 remake yet.
Yeah.
I think I'm still in the police station.
Persona 5 Royal comes out on PS4. I just had to cancel my pre-order on this because we don't have enough money for it right now. But from previews and reviews that have come out lately, I'm impressed at how much they've changed across the board in Persona 5, not just here's the new stuff we slotted in and then the rest of the game is the same. It's a across the board pretty significant change.
So this is the equivalent of the Fez edition.
Yeah,
where
it's like Persona 3 Fest, Persona 4 Golden, but with more stuff that's changed through the whole game, not just here's new stuff. So
Can you play as a female character now, or did they just add another female character?
yeah, they added another female.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a lot of confusion originally, but it's your main character is still the same guy.
Still you.
Yep, still Joker. And lastly, surprisingly, Them's Fightin' Herds comes out of early access on PC. If anyone doesn't remember this started as a My Little Pony fan game that quickly got struck down because of, fair enough legal reasons. And then they just kind of said, screw it, we're going to keep making this game. We're going to change the name, we're going to change the characters, but we think we have a pretty good fighting game here, so we're going to keep making it. And they did.
I've never heard of this before until now. And I'm looking at a trailer for it, and talk about some crisp animation.
It looks really good. Apparently, it's actually pretty fun to play. Like, it's a fairly solid fighting game. So,
and they're going to release a mod for the PC version where it just reskins them back to the My Little Pony people.
Yeah, unofficially, yeah.
Let's move to questions. Timid Hulk writes a question in Discord. Hey guys, I'm one of the many quarantine furloughed folks. Sorry to hear that, Timid Hulk. My gaming-related problem is I can't seem to get into any game right now. Huh. I've tried to start...
It's almost as if that's been echoed 3 times.
Yeah. I have tried to start Yakuza 0, Division 2, 2 Point Hospital, but bounced off it all. Coming back to Stardew, worked shortly as I finally made it through my first fall and part of winter. I have an Xbox X with Game Pass and a base PS4. Do you have any suggestions or ideas to help me kill some free time with games?
Honestly, the thing I would suggest is set yourself a goal. Because I'm very much the same right now. I am bouncing around. I can't seem to put my finger on anything. My wife is the same. She's now officially, her place where she works is closed until further notice. So she is officially at home, not allowed to leave, not leaving the house unless it's an emergency, that kind of stuff. And she's going more than a little bit stir crazy at the moment. So my current goal is get every achievement in Stardew Valley, which in of itself is a task and a half. My wife's current goal is play multiplayer games with her friends to keep the social side of things going, to keep active, to have that actual social interaction thing. And her other goal is achievement hunting, because she's now plowing through a whole bunch of games with relatively easy achievements.
Nice.
So I think the best thing you can do right now is set a goal, focus on it, and try and figure out what's a good goal for you, though. Be that get through year 2 in Stardew, be that play a single player game that you've always wanted to get into. If I wasn't returning to my workplace next week, my current goal would probably be, let's play The Witcher.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But I am returning to work, so therefore that goal has been skewed to one side for now. But I think the best thing you can do is just figure something out that you can do to pass the time, and just try and, if you're enjoying something, set a goal associated with that thing that you're enjoying.
Yeah, like maybe Yakuza 0, it's like, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to play 1 chapter today. And that's my goal today, is I'm going to make it through 1 chapter. Tomorrow I'll make it through another one.
And the best thing with Yakuza 0 as well is because you can spend 6 hours on a chapter, or you can spend 10 minutes on a chapter.
Yep.
And then depending on how you feel, you can adjust that as you go.
Yeah, exactly.
So I know for me, which is kind of funny, Call of Duty and Elite Dangerous seem to be really clicking with me right now. Elite Dangerous because there isn't any... there is a story, but if you don't want to participate or do anything with it, you don't have to. Just go off and do your own thing. Call of Duty, the same thing. I've been playing a ton of the multiplayer and the dailies just because they're generally easy to do, and I can play, if I want to, I can play with my friends, and we just sit there and shoot the S, messing around. And I'm finding, which is why I think it's funny to me, that lore-heavy games, the games that I love, the games that I dig into and read 20 lore volumes of whatever, I cannot get into right now, and I don't know why. I don't know if I've just happened to hit that funk as this was going down. So for me, it just seems to be the games that you can do, like with Call of Duty, do your dailies, get in and out, you're good to go. Elite, like I said, I'm flying to the center of the universe and I'm just putzing around doing my own thing. And those seem to be the two games that I come back to and play for hours on end with no issues. Pop on a podcast. I actually flipped my monitor around from portrait to landscape, watched a couple movies while I was playing Elite. So,
yeah.
Dead by Daylight's on Game Pass if you want a game that you can jump in, play a couple of rounds at, and just run away from it if you want to. No pun intended.
Yeah, part of what I've been happy with, with Stardew Valley. Of course, I open the window and now someone's like
mowing.
No, they're like cutting metal back there. Sorry, everyone.
Nice.
I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2 and Division 2 because they have the dailies and the weeklies and the season pass. There's all these micro goals that I can work towards, and I think that's been really successful because I can pop in, I can play for 20 minutes or I can play for 2 hours and I can sort of do whatever I want to do and I don't have to solve any. Right now, I don't want to solve any puzzles. I don't want to go through any big to do where I'm learning a brand new game, and it's nice to have all these games as service games to sort of address that.
Yeah, there is a wide selection available. Play Demon's Tilt. Give that a go. It's a very good switch your brain off kind of game.
Yep, it's true. All right, that's our episode this week. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. TVGP.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us on the right-hand side of the page. Patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. We have a brand new game we're playing on We Roguelike It right now. We still have a couple weeks left on our Game Club game. Go listen to the new Old Dog New Flicks, and I think that's about it, so we'll see you all next week.
Oh,
bye.
I like it when you say a couple more weeks on a Game Club game, like it's not 3 weeks away.
Yeah, man, I can't do math right now.
Math plus math equals few.
Yeah.
What?
Nim, hit me with your titles.
Got like 3 titles, and then my brain went to mush.
I have 0, so.
I'm feeling like Tarash. Pluh-Pluh-Pluh-Pluh-Pluh. And going to rock this place with bombs. And that's all I got.
I'm telling you, man, the plur noise in Stardew is amazing.
What was the one about bombs?
I'm going to rock this place with bombs. Okay. That one's fairly long, but...
Moon, how about you?
All right, give me 2 seconds. I mean, honestly, it's not like, achievement hunting or anything like that.
For you audio listeners, Moon has a Stardew Valley guide up.
His Stardew companion app.
it's a photo that I took from the Wikipedia page, and because I can draw on my screen now, as soon as I've caught the fish, I cross them out, so I don't have to worry about them anymore.
I like it.
Okay, titles. On Scramble. End game content. 5 million vegetables. Landing at a bad time. Pretty competent at the game. I hate people. Spaceship earworms. Docking is a nightmare. Wretched criminals. The best kind of quests.
Or what stands out for people?
I like Pluh-Pluh-Pluh-Pluh-Pluh-Pluh, but that's just because I like that noise. It's such a satisfying noise in that game.
You know what? I like that one too, just because I want to hear Boston say it.
Oh, because if we make him say it, he might throw up, dude.
Okay.
The shape he's in.
I can circle that one. Pluh-Pluh-Pluh-Pluh-Pluh.
Okay.
I'll circle it. I like it.
What's that called? What's the definition of like a sound effect that's really pleasing? There's a word for it. I can't remember.
ASMR.
Yeah. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 649 from March 30th, 2020. Pluh-Pluh-Pluh-Pluh-Pluh.
Give me the blueberries. I want them all.
Cha-ching!
Thank you very much, everyone, for watching and listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Whoa.